Hey guys, what's up? It's Kevin from the Way. We're back for another edition of Monster Hunter Rise. Today we're taking a look at Endgame Great Sword build. Mighty Soul Quencher is the sword we're going to be using here. Kaiser Crown X. This will give us critical eye, critical boost, flinch-free, speed sharpening. Next up, we're going to use the Malzeno Mail. And this will give us Blood Right, Weakness Exploit, Part Breaker, critical boost, windproof. Next up, Malzeno Braces, Warbird Whisperer, attack boost, blight resistance, offensive guard. Next up, Anjanath Coil X, attack boost, critical boost, speed sharpening, and windproof. Next up, Archfiend Armor Ceresos, Dereliction, which we're going to abuse in this build, Resentment, and last but not least, we're going to use a Weakness Exploit Level 2 2-slot Talisman for this build. Let me show you the gems here in a second. So we're going to use Expert Jewel 2, Brace Jewel 1, Teostra Soul Jewel 2 for the Rampage Jewel, Brace, and 2 Grinders here. Next up, Critical Jewel 2, Wind Resistance 1. Then we're going to use Guardian Jewel level 3 here. Next up, Critical Jewel 2, Grinder Jewel, Wind Resistance Jewel. Here we're going to use free attack jewels. And in the Fatal Talisman, Wind Resistance or Brace. You could take out Wind Resistance for something else, but I feel like Great Sword kind of struggles with monsters that have a lot of Wind Resistance, such as like Kushala and everything of the sort. Broken down, 377 attack, 34 blast, 20% affinity, 689 defense. Only thing we really can't take a hit from are dragons and a little bit of ice types, but that's not too bad. For the skills, attack boost level 7, critical eye 4, critical boost free, weakness exploit free, windproof free, speed sharpening free, flinch free, resentment 1, offensive guard 1, blight resistance 1, part breaker 1, Warbird Whisperer 1, blood right, and dereliction. Okay, let's break it down even further. So with this, you're going to get basically a 20% attack boost. Affinity is going to be 20% here. Every time we do critical hits, we do 40% more damage. Weakness exploit, anytime we hit a monster's weak spot, we get 50% affinity. Basically, that means we're going to be hitting for basically 100% affinity most of the time. All these other skills that you're seeing here are just nice quality of life skills that will help with the Great Sword. Now, keep in mind with the Great Sword, when you switch to the blue scroll for the Dereliction, you're going to get an attack boost, as well as a stun chance boost. So we're going to basically abuse pretty much Blood Right here, as well as Dereliction. When we're in the blue scroll, our attacks change tremendously, actually making the Great Sword a very fast and combo-heavy weapon compared to the old way that people remember, where it's slow and you have to charge up the charge attacks, everything. So I will show this off right now for you with a Great Azuchi, a very easy punching bag. That way I can just demonstrate the differences in the Great Sword techniques that you're going to be using with the blue scroll. Now keep in mind, since we're using Dereliction, it is in our benefit right in the very beginning of this quest to pretty much, first off, switch to the blue scroll whenever possible, which we're going to do here in a second, but we also need to eat a gourmet fish. So we're going to switch to the blue scroll first, okay? As you can see, our life is burning through tremendously, so we're going to eat a gourmet fish. The gourmet fish will slow down the life burning that we are doing with this particular build. Also, the more damage that you do to the monster with blood rate, you will be able to get your life back that way, which is kind of the point of the build. But you have to be very careful because you're kind of a glass cannon, and if you take too many unnecessary hits or monsters hit you really, really hard, you could be in a very bad spot with this armor. So it's a matter of kind of learning how to dodge monsters and everything of the sort, but it's very powerful. The good thing with this build is you can use just about any sword. Primarily, one of the swords you want is the Royal Great Order Sword Plus. Unfortunately, at the time of this video, I wasn't able to get the piece that I need because I'm still doing level 4 anomaly quests and kind of gearing up just to be able to handle those things solo and everything of the sort. So it's going to take me a couple of days maybe before I even get to do that. But a very good replacement for it is the Magnamalo blade, or any blade that's just got a good amount of attack. So basically, as you're going to see here, the Great Sword no longer actually does charge attacks like it normally does. So you have combos, and after you finish a certain combo, then it gives you the opportunity to possibly charge up the blade. As you're going to see here, you're going to sheep, get rid of this little monster that's in the way, and you're going to swing. The basic combo that you really want to be abusing here is the Surging Slash combo, as well as some of the other little techniques. It's very combo heavy. As you can see with these combos in particular, you're doing way more damage than you normally would be doing with the charge attack. As you see, when we followed up with that combo, we did 654 damage. So basically, just like with any build that abuses weakness exploit and critical boost, what you're going to want to do is attack the monster's weak spots. Monster's weak spots are basically normally the tail and the face. Sometimes for certain monsters, the weak spot will be back, which is kind of hard to hit unless you're using a gunning weapon. Other times, it will be maybe the feet. So you just have to pay attention, and whenever you strike something and you see yellow, that's when you know where you should be hitting. Now keep in mind, again, with the blue scroll, we have a very high potential for stunning the monster, as well as we have a tremendously large attack increase, which works great when it comes in comparison with the Great Sword. So that's why we're using basically the blue style here, and abusing some of the Malzeno pieces. I will be working on a Malzeno guide in the future, actually, for your full armor set. I just am missing right now, of the time of this recording, a Malzeno Blood Jewel, which I'm hoping to be able to get pretty soon. Takes a while because it's a monster that takes a lot of fight. Alright, so as you can see, we secured another KO. Another thing with this build, what you want to do is obviously you want to attack the monster's face as much as possible. That way you can secure a whole bunch of stuns. You could do some combos here. If we really wanted to, we could follow this up with XA, XA. I try not to do that one. I try to abuse some of the air combos because they're just really good combo strings. Another good thing here is you can kind of dodge out of the way if you need to. And it's not very, very hard to do. We can also block and use offensive guard. You want to use that basically with some of the bigger monsters here. On average, when you're fighting a monster of this nature, you're going to probably take it down between 4 to 5 minutes solo, which is good for a master rank monster. Some of the larger monsters, it should take you about, on average, 8 to 10 minutes. Anything higher than 10 minutes for the larger monsters means that you're probably not attacking effectively and targeting the monster's weak spots, or maybe you're not geared up properly or have the skills, or for that matter, your weapon's not maxed out. This weapon has another version, another higher level. Unfortunately, I'm not able to unlock it yet. I don't want to say how you get it, due to the fact that it's very spoiler. As you can see, the monster already is down again with the blue spot. So Great Sword got really, really busted in Sunbreak. It's way better than it used to be. Some people are arguing that it's now S tier. I can kind of see it now taking over because of the amount of damage that you could do, the combo strings that you could do, thanks to the switch skills and everything of the sort. It really makes for some very interesting and unique play styles. So now, you know, when you swing around that greatsword, it doesn't feel like it's so slow and clunky. Although I still like the original. And here's the thing. You could switch to the red scroll whenever you want to in certain situations. Like, let's say the monster's sleeping, just to get a level 3 or 4 charge off. I don't necessarily recommend it because when I was playtesting this off of recording, I noticed that you do just generally way more damage using the blue scroll in this build than even going for the red. The red is kind of a waste of your time to do that. Alright, let's unsheath our weapon, or sheath our weapon back. Alright, we'll probably play the minigame here with the monster in a second. Alright. No, I can't hit this monster shell, because we haven't sharpened in a while. Yeah, I'm just bouncing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my sword away. I'm going to get up on the Great Azuchi. We're going to bounce whenever we can. Okay, we knocked into the error monster. Let's get on the crab. Here we go, Hermitar. Let's use our attack here. We should be able to probably kill the Great Azuchi just with a couple attacks with the mounting of this monster. I don't anticipate. The only problem is the Great Azuchi obviously is very small, so it's a very hard target to hit with that big claw. Or spoke too soon, so we pretty much took it out. And that's pretty much all there is to this Greatsword build. If you follow exactly the skills and everything of the sort, you should be able to dominate most monsters in Master Rank. Keep in mind, again, you need to have Gourmet Fish so you can just slow down the amount of life that you're burning through. Other than that, really, you just want to be wailing on the monster as much as possible because Blood Rite is going to trigger, which will allow you to get a lot of your life back anyway. But you have to be careful. You can't take really unnecessary hits with this particular build because it is a bit of a glass cannon, like I said. So it's something that's going to be hard to master for most of the newer players. But there's a lot of combos that you can do, as I'm showing you some of the combos here. There's a lot of potential here. This one is a really good attack as well. You can charge it up every once in a while. You can throw up some shoulder tackles as well. You just got to play around with it to learn the combos that work best for you and the monsters that you're going against. Which overall, I think you're going to have a pretty easy time. Any questions, comments, want to share your own build variations for Greatsword, feel free to leave them in the comments. The only thing that I ask is that you do so in a constructive manner. So it's okay to share builds and share your thoughts, just do it constructively. That's the most important thing. Alright, so let's see the clear time. This is probably going to be a 5-minute clear time based on the strength of the weapon as well as how effective we hit the spots. 5 minutes and 22 seconds. So that's going to do it for the Greatsword endgame build. As always, like on this video is greatly appreciated. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, definitely consider doing so as it helps the channel grow. And I'll see you for the next Monster Hunter Rise video, which will be a dual blade glide. Till next time, guys.